Hi there guys, it's time to have a look at the May patch entitled Rebirth version 2. Now for me, version 2 sparks a major change in the series, so let's have a look and see what we've got. Now straight away you see there is a new sort of intro screen. Instead of the kind of fixed background with a little bit of writing that used to move at the bottom, we've now got a bit like the previous games where we've got a sort of station on the right and a few flybys. Now let's have a look through and see what we've got and see if anything's changed. Okay, this is settings, see if anything's changed here. Custom shadows, radar, that's the new one. High quality video capture, I don't see that's much use, especially when I'm using shadow play, but maybe it might help with some of the others. But sound options, see if there's anything new in here. Not really, as you wouldn't expect, it's only the sounds. Gameplay, not seeing a lot of difference here. Collision avoidance. So far it doesn't look too much difference in the main menus. I didn't kind of expect to see much there, to be honest. Right, so what we got for new things. Okay, one of the first things they quote is 3 new game starts, each one with a different cockpit configuration. So in new, we've now got the old campaign and free mode. Then we got expiring merchant, Argonary Merchant, Empire Builder. So what do we get with them? Variety Merchant just seems to be trading stuff. 2, I haven't got a clue what those are. I guess they're ships. Location and a station. So it looks like we've got a few different sort of different ways to start the game. Merchants I don't think is going to be much interesting, because if the trading hasn't changed totally, then it's still going to be utterly confusing. What's that one? Mercenary. It's probably just going around blowing things up. And station builders, probably not too exciting to me either, because I find the station building utterly confusing. So there's a couple of new starts there. I don't know how much useful they'll be or how interesting. So I think you've got a difficulty setting. Now if I remember correctly, the difficulty settings change the damage done to you and the damage you do. So I don't think it does much else than that. I don't think it changes the AI or puts more more enemies or anything. I don't think it does anyway. So the next thing that we are told we got is the rebalance from the official mod is now in this patch now. So if you've been trying that out, you'll probably see a very similar sort of gameplay now. Myself, I haven't really checked it out because I've been a bit disappointed with things, so I haven't been following Rebirth very closely, as you know. You can see, you've probably seen the big post I put about leaving, and this is the kind of look at and see what we got, especially Untitled version 2, because we should be getting some real major features now. Anyway, right, so let's have a look at one of the starts and see what we got. Okay guys, right, now we're actually in the game, and straight away, well, in my game there seems to be a bit of a fight going on. What's that ship? Guess that's more. I don't know why we got the information here. Haven't locked onto anything. Anyway, there's quite a few new things we're supposed to have had. First one is we have an autopilot finally, so we should be able to not do that. There's another feature is a radar. Now, jeez, don't know why the mouse wheel's doing that, but anyway. Yeah, the radar looks okay, I suppose. It's quite busy radar though. At least it's actually something a bit more useful than the way it used to be. It's just put, what was it, no information or something? How do we... No, it's not it. Let's see if we can use this autopilot to get into the highway. Probably. Yeah, you can't drag the map, it's a shame. I would like to be able to click there and move the map around. So it doesn't look like you can. That's a bit of a shame.
Autopilot engaged.
So let's get rid of this and see. Okay, that's some really good autopiloting. Whee! So where are we going now? Okay. So this is the new autopilot, and it's flying. I guess it's trying to catch that ship up in the highway, but instead of actually entering the highway and following it, it's actually trying to follow it externally. So that's going to be useless. Get that turned off.
Autopilot disengaged.
Yeah. So straight away, it can't follow stuff inside the highway. So let's try and actually get into this highway. Now, this looks a bit different. Whatever it was. Now, it looks like what they've done is instead of having a fixed sort of 3 or 4 places you could go inside the highway, we now have a sort of free area, and you kind of dodge out of the way. Yeah, no looks at it.
The big empty.
So instead of the sort of mini game you had before where you had to actually follow them and swerve out of the way, it now looks like you can just have a sort of free area and then you're trying to avoid them. What's going on here? Just somebody firing some missiles, I guess? Dunno. Again, some missiles there. That blokey looks like he's got the same autopilot as I've got.
Module information retrieved. Module information retrieved.
Yeah, I must say straight away, it does seem to be a little bit more smoother. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's a hell of a lot faster, but it supposedly is a little bit better now. So let's see if it's what else there is. Okay, so we've seen the highway. One of the features: most tasks can now be performed without landing on stations. Now, I kind of think this is a little bit of a kind of back step. If you now don't require to land, why did you kind of put in a landing section? I guess it makes sense to get rid of it because it caused so much extra hassle to land on somewhere, find something.
Why get all suspicious or take risks? We're open enough on here.
Well, thank you for that. It's very nice of you to butt in. But as I was saying, they're saying you don't have to land much now, so it's kind of defeated the whole point of actually doing the landing sections, but I guess it will make it a lot more easier for people to get around instead of if you can click things. I don't know if you can see. It's not clickable.
The Dock location added to ship computer database.
I guess we do something on here. Who knows?
Don't walk past. I have everything you need here.
So now you don't have to actually land, you can do it externally. I guess, although this is a bit confusing. I mean, the menus, something I've had troubles with all the time is, I mean, they could have made this a bit more clearer, but I guess it's a step in the right direction, so you don't have to actually comment there. Oh, you got to click down here.
Comms channel established.
Show me your skills.
Show me your skills, please.
Sure.
Well, that's useful. You don't know. But anyway, so at least that's a little bit of a step in the right direction, I suppose. Now, the autopilot, maybe I just put it in a bad situation, but it didn't seem to be all that great. But at least we have actually got an autopilot now, which is much better than what it used to be. Is absolutely nothing. So what we got now? Clicks on the event monitor can now open relevant menus. So I guess if we click here, we go straight into it. I suppose that's a bit more helpful. So if we find something else, I guess like this ship down here. No, let's go for this ship over here. It's a bit, click on here, and then we're took straight to the information. Still, the menus and all that lot kind of look confusing to me. They could have been done a lot more clearer. It's so we haven't seen much of a change on the interface at the moment. Let's see if the this menu down the bottom hasn't really improved either. It's still really bloody small. Let's see if any of them have got. So we go from one stage of menus that are really small to another stage that's massive. There's no consistency, I think. So what else have we got? Map and radar, as we've seen. There's supposed to be some new ships about. A Xenon ship I'll have a look in that in a minute, a bit later on, and see what it's like. 4 more missiles, so I don't know what they're about, but might give you a bit more of a choice. Improved graphics for even more beautiful universe. Is that options? Improved graphics. Well, they don't seem to be much different around here. Not that I can see anyway. Yeah, here's another thing, is the Steam achievements. Now, I've just seen my list of Steam achievements, and a lot of them seem to be based on either completing the game in easy, normal and hard, and then you're given certain trophies for things like earning a certain amount of money on hard mode and things like that. So I wouldn't get very excited about the achievements, to be honest. Okay. Added support for up to 8 input devices. May be useful. Option to provide replacement ship cockpit. Yeah, I think that's another thing I've seen, is we're all used to the kind of stuck sort of kind of bad cockpit like this. I've always been a person that I've not really liked it, because it is very sort of overbearing. You know, you take all this part of the screen around here and all this and that off. It really takes about 50% of your whole sort of view. Now I think I'll have to check them out in the next a bit, and I think there's a few different different views also, different cockpits, is it? So maybe that might be a bit better, some of them, but glad they've done something with it. Right, so where were we? Added shield damage for collisions. So technically you shouldn't be able to smash into something and just bounce off. Yeah, there we go. Although it doesn't look like we take hull damage. No. So, let's see if we does that do anything? Nope. Where have we got our info? See if we've done any hull damage. Of course, it's confusing. Ship status. I guess. Yeah, no hull damage. So we.
Station command to Renatani. I hope that was an accident.
So it looks like you can smack into things and use some shields, but you can't actually get any hull damage. So I don't know how good that's going to be. Maybe in big fights and that you got to watch when you don't plough into stuff. But I mean, I don't know how that would affect the big capitals because they don't have shields. So if they don't have shields, potentially they could smack into each other and not cause any damage anyway. So improved responsive for main menus. I suppose that helps get around a bit quicker. Improved vent monitor for more important information. Improved positioning interface elements in first person zone. I guess I'll have to have a look at that in a minute. Fixed gameplay mode switching between. Problem with wreck status ships or surfaces not always being loaded from save games. Not collectible objects showing in target element. Gates not showing. Info points. So there seem to be quite a lot of minor stuff now. Fixed rare instance where mission objective bar being stuck on the screen. Fixed field not being. So going through that lot, there doesn't seem to be any much changes to trading. That still seems to be the same way as going around to a station, getting a so-called deal, and then selling and buying and all that lot. The station building hasn't really looked like it's changed by the sounds of this, which is another thing I think suffers. Okay, there's the rebalance stuff, which I'm not too sure because I haven't checked that out, as I said, but how much that would affect the blind spots you can do, I don't know. But I showed it quite a while back because you could get into a split Python sort of ship, and once into the sort of front of the ship you could just sit there and blow it up. So I just wondered about this new Xenon ship, if it poses the same problems. Maybe it does. So that seems to be about it for the general sort of list. Now I'm going to have a look at some of the other sort of points that I've just covered, like the cockpit and this new ship, and see what it's about. So guys, this is the first save, and we have a different cockpit. Now it seems to be a bit more compact than the previous cockpit. Unfortunately, I think we still are flying the same old Abelian skunk. We seem to be under attack. Yeah, we're still flying the skunk. Can't actually close that now because the tip thing's over the top.
Trade offers stored in ship computer database.
Trade on. But yeah, so this is the different cockpit. Now it seems okay to me. I don't like all these pipes from the front. I don't know what that was. Jeez, them projectiles are going crazy speeds. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a kind of Star Wars sort of theme. I'm not totally convinced with these bars going across here. I think it may be nicer without them. If that was cut off from there, maybe cut off there, and this section here probably removed, then I'd probably prefer it a bit more. But it does seem to be a little bit more better in the first sort of one to me. So let's have a look and see what the kind of second one looks like, because it apparently each different cockpit is on each different start, and you can buy the cockpit also and swap it over in other games. So hopefully this won't be too long loading. Okay, so it's very blue outside. This is a strange one. Now the radar is massive here. And I guess we cannot move our head yet. See, can we go into the crew quarters? I think you see it's still the abandoned skunk. Yeah, it's just that now we've got a different front bit here. I guess the sort of what they're going to say for that is that the skunk is swappable or something, but yeah, it seems okay. I think the radar is massive though, that's ridiculous, and it's a shame you can't drag these bits and put them where you like, but yeah, it seems to be better, I think. Probably just a bit oversized, I think. Definitely prefer it more in the first one. So let's have a look and see what the third one looks like. Again, hopefully this won't take too long. I mean, the cockpit ranges aren't actually swapping ships. So we still are stuck with the one ship thing, so don't think that because we can change cockpit, it's suddenly you can swap ships. Now this is a bit of a strange one.
Station information added to ship computer database.
Yeah, it's not bad, definitely. Don't like that. That looks bad. That looks like we've creased the sort of paper or something. Yeah, but if they could remove that mark, this would be probably one of my more favourite ones, to be honest. Because you would have thought in modern space technology they would have got round the thing of having blurry glass. But yeah, not too bad. The radar's not so bad size as well. I don't know what this top bit does. Definitely having a lot more open area now. Yes, definitely. It's a shame about that, Mark. Yeah, alright, so let's look at the new cockpits available. Hi there guys, then let's have a look at this new Xenon ship. Now straight away I've got a problem here that I cannot get control of the game, so there is a sort of quick workaround. If you open the map and then come out of it,
object information added to ship computer database.
So, let's see, where is this ship? Here we are. Now this is a new ship, the Xenon I. So let's have a look at it and see what it's like. Now I wonder if it's got any blind spots.
Object information added to ship computer shields critical. Focus factor.
Obviously it hasn't got any blind spots there. So let's summarise what we've seen. Well, the new game starts are kind of interesting, I suppose, but I don't like the idea of easy, normal, and hard mode. I mean, to me that's kind of a bit of a lazy attempt. The rebalance in combat I haven't really looked at, but that comes with time. The additional there's some additional commands to fly your ship, which might be useful. I don't know exactly. I need to look into them. The autopilot, albeit it is a little bit crazy, but at least you can actually tell the autopilot to do something. The new highway, I suppose it is an improvement, but essentially it is just a highway or a so-called road, so I wouldn't get too excited about it. Things can be done without landing, I suppose, but the thing is with that, why did they do the landing scenes anyway? It's kind of making more of a sort of glancing over it. The event things, the radar is quite useful, I suppose. I mean, instead of saying nothing there, to have an actual radar is finally actually quite useful. So the huge new ship looks okay, but with the blind spot it kind of a bit defeated. I mean, I suppose what they're trying to do is they've given one ship, the player ship or the skunk, such an array of weapons that it can take on the small ships and then it can take on the big ships, but because it can do all of them, it doesn't have the drawback of size. So a small ship technically should only carry small weapons. It shouldn't be able to carry sort of destroyer class weapons on board, but because we're limited with one ship, I suppose they've got to do that, because otherwise these big ships, you know, you could not do anything about them. I mean, limiting you to just a fighting sort of fighters would be kind of bad, but because the little ship can get into spaces with these blind spots, it kind of takes all the element out of fighting for me anyway. It's so yeah, new ship's nice, but with the current tweaks, and well, not tweaks, but the current gameplay, you can exploit these blind spots. For me to fix that, you'd have to have the ship to be changeable, and then of course each ship would have to have, as its size increases, bigger weapons. And then I suppose on top of that, the bigger ships, instead of having just hull, they would have to have shields, because essentially with even the little ship you could keep whacking away and eventually you could actually destroy the biggest ships in the game. So without shields, that's technically not going to be perfect anyway. Okay, they say they've had some new graphical increases. I didn't see too much, but maybe you might see. The new intro and start, well, it's just graphical thing, it's not that exciting. How many times do you get excited by a menu? The 4 missiles I didn't really touch on, but again that's to do with combat. New esteem achievements, bit of disappointment those are. And then some minor tweaks and that. So potentially, it doesn't look like to me it kind of looks like the version 2 was a bit of an overstatement. I would think this is more like a 1.5 to me. I mean, to grant the version 2 status, it suggests it's a major leap in the title, and there's a few nice increases, yes, definitely, but we are kind of looking for some big updates. I mean, I'd like to see the change. I'd like to see trading redone, and I would like to see station rebuilding redone, and quite a few other bits. I mean, the fighting, of course, changing ships would be nice. There's quite a lot of things. Can't think of them off the top of my head, but definitely a lot of features not there, and to give it the version 2 status seems to be a bit over the top. Now, usually Egosoft only go up to version 3 around that area and stop, so this is probably, in them cycles, probably a good sort of 50% through its life cycle. So what we got here is pretty much what the game's going to be, I think, until the end. Which, oh yeah, and I just wanted to add one extra thing, is by the looks of it, there's no new plot. Anyway, thanks for listening, and hopefully that made all sense. I know I haven't touched on every single element on it, but I just wanted to do a sort of quick run through and see what it's like. Anyway, thanks for listening and take care.